Hello, everybody. Welcome to a new series that I am starting called Getting M10 with every single League of Legends champion, starting from their release date. So, just to give a brief summary, for Season 1, we're going to be going through alphabetical order since there's no, release date. But past Season 1, we won't be doing alphabetical order. We'll just be doing, day of release, because Season 2 is when they actually started having champions release. Season 1, there was no champions releasing. They technically just all released in, one go. So, we are starting this series with Alistar, who has changed, I think, a fair bit since his Season 1 release. But I think this game has also changed, and Alistar is definitely not the champion he used to be. So, I'm going to briefly go through the things that are good with Alistar while you watch my horrendous Alistar gameplay. Trust me, we lost this match, and this Caitlyn will probably show you why. Some of the best things about Alistar are the fact that he has, I think, one of the best disengage abilities in the game. His W can really fuck over an enemy. I have knocked junglers off the dragon before. I have knocked prevented dragons from being stolen. I've knocked enemies under my turret. Alistar's W is a force to be reckoned with, and it's fairly very, very good. That being said, he has a really good roam. If you've watched any of Alicopter's videos, you can see how good Alistar's roaming potential can be when played in the right hands. He can knock the enemy around in so many different ways. He can QW them under turret, or he can just W them straight under turret, flash W. I've seen so many crazy Alistar's engages. It's wild. The big difference between him and Leona is the fact that he just kind of he weirdly blinks to that location. I know he doesn't. He technically charges towards it or dashes towards it, but it feels like he just blinks and gets super up close and personal, which Leona does too, but Leona's just a lot slower than Alistar in terms of her engage. So Alistar just overall felt like a better, he doesn't feel like a better Leona, but he has that kind of edge over Leona that his engages are a lot faster. And again, into the right hands, Alistar is really freaking good because of it. That being said, I will kind of start harping on Alistar in terms of what he's not good with, because there's quite a lot. I ended this season of Alistar with a 41% win rate. Alistar is clearly not my champion, but I also think that Alistar is kind of just weak. My friend put it the best way. Alistar is very mediocre. There's always another champion who kind of does what he wants to do better, except for disengage. He will always have the better disengage. If you need a champion who can engage, Leona. If you need a tank, Nautilus. Nautilus is a much better tank. If you need, say, I don't know what else you would need, because Alistar can't be an enchanter. If you need someone who's good at roaming, literally Leona. Alistar is just really mediocre, because it's his kit that's kind of what makes him that. So, here's the thing. Alistar's whole engage combo, his whole entire engage is literally his entire kit. WQE. Sometimes you can just WQ, sometimes you can just Q, just W, but the times that you'll have that are rare as hell. You rarely have a combo that's going to be just WQ. Almost all of your combos are going to be WQE. There are ways to go and do QW like I did earlier, but even then, those are also incredibly situational. And it makes Alistar almost become an all or nothing champion. because his entire engage is literally his kit. And if some team comps just don't work for Alistar. Like, a good example, if you have like a hyper bursty comp, I would not recommend playing that into Alistar, or playing that with Alistar, because Alistar will seriously not do, like, perform remotely well in a composition like that. That comp would prefer to have someone like Leona over Alistar. Another thing is that Alistar's stats are kind of awkward. I've noticed, particularly, Alistar's not very tanky without its R. And that's another thing compared to Leona, compared to Thresh, especially Thresh, compared to Nautilus. There's much better tanks out there than Alistar that can just do his job so much better. I missed my Q there. There was also another thing. Alistar has weird input delay on some of his abilities. I don't know if that's a glitch or an intended feature or what. He has some really awkward delay on some of his abilities. So Alistar just overall feels like he's a champion that's just mediocre. I feel like I would prefer to play like literally any other champion than Alistar because of like, yeah, his disengage is really good and he'd work really good into like a heavy engage comp, but that's it. That's like the only place that he has. He really, like, there's just so many comps that it just feels like he doesn't do good in. Compared to like other champions that kind of fill his role, he just feels like he just can't compete. I think my hardest matchup was literally Leona. Not like Soraka, not Lux, it was Leona. Because I could never out-roam her, and she could clear my wards so much quicker. That was another problem. Alistar takes wards so freaking slow. His attack speed is that of a damn snail. He does not clear things fast at all. And it genuinely, like, makes it so much harder to like be good because of it, or like not to be just good, it just makes it so much harder to perform onto other levels. And I did find it funny though that the one comp, or not the one comp, but like the few characters Alistar was really good against were the ones that like a lot of times the websites say he counters. He's really good into Soraka. He's really good into, like, Lux, because his engage is very heavy. And he's just really fast and can be off-putting, and he has a displacement. So that just, like, makes his whole situation so much worse. Also, pay attention to my Caitlyn kind of overextending and not freezing or hiding behind turret here. So the one thing that I feel like Alistar has that's a problem is it's just the fact that he's just, his job is done better by someone else. Now, that being said, I'm going off of the script. Another thing I've noticed with Alistar is this situation that happens right here. My Caitlyn got really pissed because I roamed up to Grubs and did not stay in lane the whole time. This is like the case with every ADC you play with as a tank. They genuinely expect you just to sit there and feed them the entire game, forgetting that like there's more to the game than bot lane. Honestly, if I had gone top, I probably would have gotten that kill, and if I had just let my Caitlyn die again. But I decided to roam back to try to save the peace. But that was another problem I ran into. I have like 4 games where I would roam Grubs, I'd ping roaming to Grubs, and my ADC would get so beyond pissed that I left lane, and they would die. And I'm just like, dude, I'm sorry, but like, there's more to this game than your lane. Like, ADCs have such inflated egos, it's wild. I mean, like, dude, if pro players can play with a fucking Bard that's never in lane, you can play with an Alistar that's, like, leaving lane for a bit. And, like, literally this Caitlyn going so fucking crazy over this loss is literally what causes us to lose the game. I ward this bush. I'm like, I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this. They start roaming over. I'm like, okay, I'm going to back off of it. What does my Caitlyn do? What does she do? Oh, well, she tries to fight the Jhin close to under turret. Then she gets hooked by the Thresh because I'm not there. I back off. I go to ward Dragon, and then Caitlyn dies. She doesn't back off. She fights, and she dies. And then she gets mad, and she starts throwing. Yeah, it's genuinely, like, this was the most frustrating part about playing Alistar, was just dealing with, like, people like this. Because I dealt with this, like, so many times. Like, this is why I don't even ever advise playing, like, engaged tanks. Like, genuinely, this was a stupid play on my part. I won't even deny that. This is all stupid. I will not even deny the fact that, like, even Leona players have this really freaking bad. Like, I swear to God, they just get, like, these kind of teammates, bro. And it doesn't matter because the Caitlyn's gonna find anything else to blame but me. So I muted her halfway through. I muted her, and I just decided not to deal with it. But yeah, that's, like, I guess the curse of playing engaged tanks is that your ADC is gonna get mad if you leave the damn lane. So it just is what it is. You're gonna have to, like, mute your ADC and focus on other things. Because most of the games that I got flamed by my ADC, we won because of objective control, even if when some of them started trying to feed. But yeah, those are kind of my personal grievances in terms of, like, Alistar. He just overall doesn't feel good, and you have to deal with these, like, really nasty ass teammates who just don't want to listen to shit. I will say another. Oh god, yeah. Then the Rise TPs. All shit hits the fan. I can't say there's anything else about Alistar. He's clearly just not my champion. I'd rather play something else. But I will say, I actually do advise getting to M10 with Alistar for one reason. He will teach you how to engage. That was the one thing he taught me, which was when and where to engage in. And that was able to transfer over to when I started the next champion that we'll be doing, which is Annie. I was able to kind of just better understand and learn what is, like, the best time to, like, make an engage kind of play. So even if you don't stick with Alistar, which you might, I still advise getting to M10 with him because you will learn a lot about, like, a mechanic in the game that you may have slept on particularly. Because just overall learning that engage, like, system, it's going to carry over to other champions, and it'll probably carry over to any champion because you're going to have to know when to go in and when you're going to have to go out regardless of what kind of character you play. So, but yeah, those are my thoughts in terms of Alistar, what he's good for, what he's not, the good, the bad, the ugly with Alistar. I do think that I would just prefer playing any other champion. I'm not Alicopter. I can't make him work. If you play Alistar and you're like, damn, this character is OP, this character's fire, that's great. Don't go overhyping the fuck out of the character. I don't think Alistar is bad. Every character in the game has matchups they're good into. Every character has matchups and team comps they're not. Fucking Faker, I think, won a Worlds tournament while playing as Rise, pre-reworked Rise. So if that can go well, anything can go well. So anyways, I'll catch you guys all next time. This has been Living with BPD, and I'll let you guys watch the rest of the video, no matter how terrible it is, but you don't have to.